Hi, and welcome to episode 4 of Safe Harbour. And in today's show, we'll be looking at how to honour what gives us joy. I think it's one of those things that we deal with a lot with our clients and in our own lives, and it would be really great to be able to offer up some tools and ways that you can really start tapping into what gives you joy and how to honour it, how to make sure that that actually happens rather than waiting for the perfect day. Hi, Jamie. Great to be here again with you.
Yeah. Hey, Phil. Yeah, this is a nice topic. I like this one.
What do you like about it? What comes up?
I thought you might say that.
Sorry.
That's a coaching question.
Yeah, I know.
I got a coaching question back at me. What do I like about this topic? Well, when I think of when I've recently been in total joy was, I'm going to have to say when I was in lockdown, actually. And Phil, one of the very privileged few that I had some land outside my garden, and we were out there planting vegetables and out there daily. We're getting up in the morning, doing Joe Wicks together as a family, keeping fit and eating nice food, having lunch together and dinner together and breakfast together out on the deck there. Very, very lucky. I know. I'm totally in appreciation of that. But it felt like real joy. Like this is how life should be, you know? So that's how I connect to the word joy most recently for me. How is it? Well, how about you?
Yeah, I know. I threw you under the bus a bit there, didn't I? Something like that.
That's good.
Like, hey, surfing, what's coming at you? You did well. Yeah. So I suppose, well, the title of this episode, how to honor what gives us joy. And it's interesting that joy is transient and joy is individual to each of us. There's comfort and there's peace and there's, feeling content. But joy, I think, for me, the word joy is I feel in flow, this flow state of I'm engaging in doing something that really has me feel alive and connected and purposeful.
Yeah.
When I do this thing, I forget the concept of time. I'm in flow state. Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful.
That's joy for me. I mean, there's obviously joy with my partner, and there's joy in walking in nature and all manner of different things that surprise me, comes out of nowhere and surprises me sometimes. Surprising joy out of nowhere through comedy, through humor. But this place of honoring and creating space for us to enjoy our own unique rendition of joy, I think can be few and far between, particularly for my clients. Yeah, I notice they come to me with that a lot.
Yeah. I know for my clients, one of the things when we coach around joy and fulfillment is that it's self-indulgent.
Oh.
Yeah. That I
well,
feel
it kind
guilt.
of is, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But that's not a bad thing.
And that's the flip side to look at, isn't it? That's the gift in it is, but does it have to be?
So what do you notice about that? When clients bring that to you, what are you listening out for when they come with an agenda like that?
When they say it's self-indulgent, that it's a saboteur, like we were talking about in the last podcast. It's a saboteur coming to shut them down, and to get back in your comfort zone and stay there. Don't leave that coming out here thinking you can go off and be in your back garden and having fun every day.
Yeah.
You should be doing some work. You should be earning some money.
We? Yeah.
Yeah. We'd all like that.
Yeah, we'd all love
It's all right for you.
There's something about if it's not hard work, it's not valuable. Maybe that's not even related, but that just popped into my mind, so I thought it was worth mentioning. And oftentimes when I'm when I'm experiencing joy, when I'm in that flow state, it doesn't feel like hard work. And so sometimes my individual inner critic can get hold of that and say, well, this isn't a good use of your time. You're not making money. You're not progressing things. You're not kind of impacting others for the better. And so I can kind of snap out of it, or I can be pulled prematurely out of this flow state.
Yeah. Oh yeah, me too, in a flash. I very rarely will go and just sit in a hammock and just read a book. It drives me. My saboteur drives me around the bend. I'm out of that thing in 20 minutes if I'm lucky. And I'll go and pick up a hammer and I'll do some work on my shepherd's hut because I'm being productive. But actually then I am in a state of joy, because there's nothing makes me more happy if I'm tinkering with some tools and making something, and I'm building a shepherd's hut on my field out the back, bit by bit, hour by hour, and it's coming together.
How does that feel, out of curiosity? What do you get from doing that?
To creating something. Like where I'm speaking from now is I'm in my office in the garden, which was the first thing to be built during lockdown. In its place was an old rickety shed which fell down. Well, we gave it away and someone came and took it, but it was falling apart. And now in its place is this creative space where I can come and sit and do my coaching and work with my clients in peace and quiet. And it's hammering down with rain outside, and my rubber roof is up there that I laid myself, and put it on with the instruction manual that I'd never done before. There's this kind of what it brings for me is a challenge of but you've never done this before. What if it goes wrong? Just do it anyway. It'll be fine. And then the celebration at the end. Look at that rubber roof. That's going to be there for 50 years.
Wow.
Incredible.
There's something about something about seeing an end result which feels really important to you. It's like,
absolutely.
Wow, I've made that. I've moved this thing from here to here.
Yeah.
And I did that.
As a family, we can go and live in it in the summer, and feel like we're camping in the south of France when all we are is 150 yards from our house.
Yeah.
We're out in nature and planting vegetables outside its door. It's that brings me a lot of joy.
So it's interesting. I think joy, or rather this flavor of joy that we're talking about, finding flow and being in a real expression of purpose and a real fulfilling groove, is different for all of us. So building on that, I think there are certain times in life where, certain instances where I completely forget to honor myself. And I use that word honor, how to honor myself, because it really is honoring myself. It's often I'll say to clients, okay, stick some joy in your calendar and label that calendar sacred. It cannot be moved, immovable. And it's interesting how I would do that for clients, or suggest that a client does that and go away and create that calendar and create those sacred blocks of time where their joy will be honored. And yet sometimes I forget to do it for myself, And I think that's maybe a combination of things, because I'm coaching and I'm mentoring and I'm doing the work that I love doing. So that, in actual fact, I'm very lucky in that kind of alchemy way, where it kind of brings together what I love to do coupled in with what clients are looking for. So that really beautiful alchemy meeting spot is me being in flow as well, mostly. And so I suppose I don't necessarily have to think about it in order to practice it, because I'm doing it a lot of my time anyway.
Yeah, totally. I mean, like you say, we're lucky doing the work that we do, because this is, and I totally resonate with that. When I'm coaching clients, I'm in my element. I'm an hour goes like that with a client, and I go, wow, I'm bringing them into land, for the end of the call, and I'm setting them up with something to do for that week, because I'm totally loving what I'm doing. I'm on purpose. And it's taken me a long time to get to this place, to really feel that this work that I'm doing is in line with my values and in line with what I'm here to do. It sounds a little bit corny, but this is what I was born to do. I am using my gifts that I was born with in service of others. And that is that I feel very lucky to be able to do that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And that takes work, doesn't it? Like we were saying maybe in episode 1, where we were giving a bit of background to our journeys. It wasn't always that way. We weren't always doing flow state work, stuff that really sort of filled us up. And, we've both set off in directions that we felt were going to honor us and give us joy, and that they did in certain ways, but maybe not the depth and fulfillment of that flavor of joy that we're talking about. The one which is, I feel like I'm doing something meaningful. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So when are you really what's the thing that has you really be in a state of flow and joy?
It's a good question, because I lost sight of it for a while there. Apart from my work, I think we need, personally, okay, so I'm speaking for myself because that's all I know. Personally, we need contrast in order to be able to understand what it is that we love. If we were doing the same thing all the time, it's like, it's the water we swim in, like the fish being in the water. It doesn't know it's in the water, so you have to pull it out and say, look, down there, that's where you've just come from. So I think we need that contrast. I think that exists in nature all the time, light and dark and day and night and all these different contrast shifts, so that we're able to have comparison and have perspective. But I think one of the things I was thinking about in prep for this conversation is my photography. So I haven't really spoken about photography yet, but it's a real passion of mine, and particularly street photography and people photography on the streets. I love doing street portraits of people that I don't know. I love going out and meeting those people, and I haven't been doing any of that since lockdown, and I'm really not honouring that part of me. And it was a really real big one. I thought, no, I can pause it until things blow over. I can pause it until I'm ready again. And I was really fearful of going into town, right in the centre of town as well, because when I go and do this photography, I go and do it in Chinatown and Soho, and I don't know, there's something in me which is like, nope, just pause all that good stuff until pandemic's over, and then we can pursue that joyous thing again.
So like putting your joy on hold for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And wow, it's such a common thing. I don't know about for you, putting joy on hold until things are better, or until this is achieved, and for your clients.
Certainly a pain that I think I might even put it on my website, when I'm talking about, when will you do the thing that you're called to do, like when your mortgage is paid off, when your kids have left home, when the timing's right, et cetera, et cetera. These are all kind of textbook I'll do it whens, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
And we're all, me included, guilty of operating in that territory from time to time in our lives. And yeah, I guess I think that for me would be taking time out for myself, actually, like really taking time out for myself. I went and did a retreat, I think about 3 or 4 weeks ago, a men's retreat. There were only 8 of us, like a COVID-friendly, safe thing. And it was great. I just really needed to go away and, lose my shit for a weekend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean by that? Just let go. I just didn't want my phone. I didn't want any beer. I didn't want a boys' weekend. I just wanted to go and lose my shit for a weekend, get in a sweat lodge and scream, say prayers to the fire, and, be really held in a safe way with some other dudes, And we were naked around the fire, and we were throwing water on each other, and, all this kind of done in a really respectful, ceremonious way. But like, I feel alive again. That's what I needed. And it's been a pivotal shift. It's really shifted something in me. And I make up that was one of the things that has had me feel more alive recently, that I tended to my own self-care. I felt I'd been neglecting what I needed. And actually, if I do that more regularly, I make up that I wouldn't need to go and lose my shit twice a year. I could probably do something less big than that. Yeah, but less elaborate.
It ramps up, and you get to a point where you're either going to explode, or you got to let off somehow.
That's right. Yeah, and that's what it felt. And I think that was a healthy way of doing it. An unhealthy way of doing it, for men especially, is to just go off and get pissed for weekends and, go to gigs and, go out and rent a travel lodge with 10 guys and just, that sounds really weird, doesn't it?
Well, it sounds really good at the moment, to be honest. Yeah. Because I can't
go on a bender, inverted commas, and just feel terrible about myself.
Filthy.
For 3 days. Yeah, like, no, that's not healthy. that's not, it's fun.
There can be joy in that as well, though, right?
There can be joy in that, yeah. But I would have been doing that for the wrong reasons. The reason I chose to go on a medicine weekend and really connect with my body and connect with the warrior in me that needed to let off some steam in a healthy way, I think that enabled what we're talking about, this flow state, things to get back in flow back in flow relationship with my wife. My relationship with my wife is better. It's better with my kids. I'm more present. And this could be a coincidence from this weekend that I had, but it's pretty pivotal if you look at the timings. So yeah, that's when I know what it costs me to not take care of myself and to ignore these moments of joy and being in flow state. It's not healthy for me.
I know throughout my life I've had guilt with joy as well. I think it's a parental thing. I think I learned it from my dad. I feel if I'm having too much joy, it's a bad thing. If I let myself go too much, too far, then it's almost like don't enjoy yourself too much because it'll only go away. And so don't even go there for fear of being disappointed. And it was very much my dad's story. And he had reason to be that way, to live life that way, but I don't. It's a very different circumstance now. It's a very different life that I have, that he had. He was adopted as a child, or he was fostered, and he had a pretty turbulent childhood of uncertainty. And that isn't my life at all. But what I do notice is there's not an indelible mark, but there's a real echo that comes from his experience of life, which he handed to me, subconsciously, which is that we'd all like joy, wouldn't we? But not too much of it because it only gets taken away. Okay. I've had to do a lot of work around that.
So what's your mechanism? What's the trigger point to notice?
To notice that that's kicking in? Is when I get depressed. If I feel depressed, or if I feel like heavy, is this all life is? If I'm not showing up in my relationship from a way of lightness or fun or creativity or play, then I know that I'm not honoring the joy within me. I'm honoring my dad's legacy, and it's almost like I'm saying, "Here you go, Dad. How's this?"
Right. Yeah.
And I'm not honoring my own, which is it shakes me out and like, whoa! It's like a slap around the face and says, "Come on, Phil, man, get out there." And it actually usually requires, most of the time, or a lot of the time, it requires someone else to spot it in me. I notice that I'm low, I'm depressed, I'm just feeling energyless, soft, reclusive, getting on with my work, doing my thing, but there's no spark, there's no fire, And it will take my partner, or it will take a good friend such as yourself to actually point it out and say, "Whoa, here's a good bit of comedy. Here's a TikTok video that really had me, pissing myself laughing." And you send me something like that, and I'm like, "There's the joy."
Yeah.
Just an outburst of craziness and eccentricity and inappropriateness, and I'm like, wow, I'm alive again. It lights the fuse.
Lose your shit for a moment, kind of.
I love that phrase you used. I was really getting into that. I was like, what does that mean for me?
Do you think if we say TikTok enough times, they might send us some money?
Maybe only if we portray it as a good thing and not highly addictive. 5 hours later, what the hell? This is my joy, is it? Yeah. Well, actually, sometimes,
I'm in a TikTok K-hole. I can't get out. Help.
But I always find it's incredibly, I'm just talking about TikTok for a moment. I find that is incredibly refreshing. It's like that. I go into flow state when I'm watching that. I laugh and laugh and laugh. And it's rare for me to laugh out loud in that way. To laugh like that is such a natural thing. And if you find something that enables you to do that,
absolutely,
why would you do it?
Why not? It's a tonic, isn't it? I was laughing my head off last night at some really old Reeves and Mortimer.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so absurdly stupid. And my daughter, we're watching it, I got tears running down my face, and I go, like crying, laughing. And my daughter's looking at me going, what is even funny about this? Anything that brings a smile to my face comes under the category of joy.
Right.
Really?
That's nice. Yeah, that's nice. That's a good indicator, isn't it?
Yeah.
What can people do to actually get a handle on honoring more joy in their life and bringing it in, designing it in intentionally?
Yeah, good question, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean, certainly with my clients, it's bringing some kind of, what in coaching we call it resonance, don't we? Like this kind of upward vibration.
Nice.
Like, what would that look like? Where are you currently? On a 0 to 10, where is your joy right now? Where's your level of joy? Well, it's a 3. Okay, so right, really feel what that feels like in your body. And like embody that. Where are your shoulders hunched over? That 2 or 3 that you're not experiencing joy in your life, and the scowl on your face, and really feel that in your stomach. Oh, then file, save as. What does that feel like? Like save that into your... And then, so like over to you, what do you do from that place, Phil, when you've got someone in that position?
Yeah, it's very similar actually. Some takeaways that people could try are, if we're not feeling joy, then we're feeling probably the inverse of that, which is kind of heavy and kludgy, whatever that word means. But slow and heavy, constricted. There's no flow. There's no openness. There's no sense of creativity. We're not sourcing from what wants to happen. And so oftentimes I'll exactly as you just pointed out, I'll point my clients to their bodies. Well, if we have the video up and we're doing a session together, I'll be like, right, okay, so I'm noticing your shoulders, client, are really forwards and you're kind of stooped over. It's almost like you're trying to hide, you're trying to recede back into your shell. Well, what would it be like to do the inverse of that in your embodiment? And so, I'll say, okay, so let's roll your shoulders back, let's open your arms out, and let's put your palms up. Let's say, what else? How are you if you're like a flower opening up, and maybe even stand, breathe deep, and open up your stomach muscles if you're holding tight to them. All of that good stuff. Sorry, man. Yeah, I'm putting you to sleep.
I'm doing it. Yeah, I'm actually doing it.
Yeah. And so what happens is that once the embodiment has kicked in, once you've opened your body, and I often say, like, to go with that, take up your space, feet on the floor, take up your space, stretch out as far as you can. And then ask that space, ask that version of yourself, we might call it the wisdom self or the higher self or whatever. Ask that version of yourself, what can I do today that would really give me a sense of joy? What would really fill me up? What would I love to do?
So from this new position, this kind of embodied, because I've got my chest up now, my chin up, my arms out to the ceiling, my fingers spread wide apart like that.
Yeah,
it's a totally different feeling in this position. What do I want today?
There's a flow here, isn't there? A flow to new ideas.
Yeah.
So what flows in? What are the creative ideas that come in? Like, if you had to practice honoring your joy after this podcast, what would you do?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking you.
I'd go outside into the field with my socks off. So feel the earth under my feet and let go of the idea that my feet are going to get dirty. Avoid all the dog poo that's out there from my little Jack Russell.
Okay.
And I would squeeze my toes into my vegetable patch and really feel all the dirt in between my feet and really connect with Mother Earth. Really feel her in my feet and then dig my hands in there as well.
Very
and
nice.
Feel myself getting wet in the rain.
Yeah.
I feel alive. I do that.
Yeah. So just to form that into a bit of a structure, something, if you're listening to this, you might want to go away and try is just notice your embodiment. Are you hunched over? Are you getting small? Are you sort of subconsciously trying to hide or restrict the amount of space that you take up? And then just start to unravel like a bud, blooming out into a flower. Just unravel and being mindful of where you are, arms outstretched in the middle of Pret or something. It might be you may
not anymore, you're not.
No, this is true. But if you were in there on your own, it'd be even weirder, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, arms outstretched, just get bigger, just own your space and head up, breathe deep, just allow yourself to be available to inspiration and ideas. See what comes up from that place and then just go, oh yeah, if I had to do what would fill me full of joy now, well, the top 3 things I would say yes to. I'd go for a walk in nature. Exactly as you say, Jamie, I love what you're saying. Get into the earth, take your socks off and just get connected again. Yeah. Write down those top 3 things, stick them in your calendar, treat them as sacred and honor them, do them.
Absolutely. That's the important bit, right? Do them. Get out there and do them. Because I can get into a habit of, I have done in the past, of thinking that I'm going to do these things, and that's just enough. You know, you ever done that?
Oh yeah.
I've got to go out in nature a bit more, and then not actually go out into nature. Just
like
thought
that.
about it. Just took the edge off.
Exactly. That's interesting. I was just going to say, not to open it all up again, but just the thought of it, just that, that little bubble to the surface of inspiration. Does that give you any relief? And if so, or if not, what stops you actioning it and doing it, taking it further?
That's a great question. How can I answer that honestly?
Honestly.
Okay. What stops me from going out there and actually doing it? My saboteurs.
Okay.
Yeah, my inner critics. Oh, don't bother with that. Just pop Netflix on, or just do a couple of emails, because then you'll be getting something done that's worthwhile. Because going out there and taking your shoes and socks off, that's self-indulgent. You only have to wash your feet when you come back in. That's what, if I'm honest. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm glad
I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? And something in coaching as well that works so well in the structure of coaching when we work with our clients is the accountability piece. And I think that's why coaching works so well, in that oftentimes, always at the end of a coaching session, I would say, what will you do? When will you do it? And how will I know? And I think having an accountability partner in that way is a really good structure, whether you're in a coaching dynamic or not, whether you just have, a friend who you can say, can you hold me accountable to, honoring my joy a little bit more next week? Sure. What does that look like? Well, on Tuesday and Thursday, I will go out for a walk and I will buy my favorite coffee and I will just breathe in the air without my phone. A bit of accountability in that way. It goes a long way.
It absolutely does. It kind of puts some roots on it, doesn't it? And makes it so that it happens rather than it just be a thing like I just did, just making it in my head and not actually going through that. It's like talking about going to the gym, but not actually getting on the treadmill.
Oh, I'm good at that. Yeah. I'm brilliant at that. Yeah. I got a good excuse at the moment as well why I can't
treadmill.
do it. Yeah.
You actually got a treadmill as well?
No, I'm good at not doing it. I'm good at thinking about it. No, I haven't got a treadmill. That would be very London, but no.
Dream big. If you follow your heart, listen to what your heart tells you. Your joy. Put your hand on your chest and feel your heart. Your heart will tell you what gives you joy. So go and do what that tells you.
I love that. Yeah, I definitely back that up. I double that. You get my vote. Yes. All right. So
thanks, Phil.
How do they reach you?
So my website, it's www.jamiecoach.com.
Throw us ideas for subsequent shows as well. We would love to hear your ideas.
Yeah.
And you can get me on philaskew.com. Take care and be well.